What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Chase Winiford. I'm from California, USA.
My name's Priscilla Farnham, and I'm from Minnesota, USA.
How long have you been in China?
I've been in China for a little over 4 years.
I have lived in China for almost 4 years.
What impressed you most during your days here?
The thing that impresses me the most is Chinese food. I think it's really delicious.
The difference in culture is pretty impressive. Food is definitely impressive. Food is amazing. I would say also the landscape is a lot different here than America, and also the lifestyle is a lot different because there's so many people compared to the US.
Are you satisfied with the Chinese traffic?
Here?
Yeah.
Here is not so bad. I'm definitely not satisfied with Beijing traffic.
What do you think about Beijing's?
Beijing's traffic is terrible. Saturday, Sunday, okay. Monday through Friday, awful.
I think Chinese traffic can sometimes be a little bit nerve-wracking and give you an anxiety attack because there's cars everywhere, there's bikes everywhere, pedestrians, and it's just a big mess.
What do you think would be the reasons that so many people would ignore the traffic rules?
Why do most people ignore the traffic rules? Probably because I don't think the police enforce the laws too seriously. And also, from my personal experience, if you have money, you don't necessarily have to follow the rules. But I think also there are just such a large amount of people that it's hard to enforce laws for individuals who are breaking the law because there's so many people going everywhere.
So crowded.
Yes, it's too many people to control.
I think the main reason why people ignore the rules is because of the population in China. It's just so high, and because there are so many people, it's easier to look the other way with traffic laws and things like that. For example, in America, if you jaywalk, you will get fined $15, but in China, there's too many people to enforce a small law like that.
How often do you take the buses here?
On average, I would say maybe 3 times a week.
I take the bus almost every day.
What do you think of them?
I think the bus in Changle is pretty decent, not so bad. I used to live in Beijing, and the bus in Beijing is quite awful.
From 5 to 7 o'clock, they're a little bit crowded, but normally during the day, they're not so bad.
Compared with the US,
The buses in US are completely different. Only crazy people ride the bus in the US because most people own their own car.
and what do you think of the Chinese taxi, the attitude or service?
It depends on the driver. Sometimes you get a really, really nice driver, but then other times you get a really nasty driver.
Have you ever seen the bad driver?
In Beijing, yes. Here, I have not had a bad driver here, but if you go to Beijing, sometimes they won't even pick you up. You go like this and then, like they don't even want, they'll say, and you say, I'm going here, they, and then bye-bye. But here, I've had very pleasant encounters with taxi drivers.
I think the taxi service in China is really varied. Sometimes you can find a very professional taxi driver who will take you to your location. However, other times you can find a crazy driver who maybe drank too much baijiu and smokes many cigarettes.
Do you have any suggestions about Chinese urban traffic?
Well, I think it would be nice if some of the traffic laws were enforced. I heard, for example, in Shenzhen and Beijing that you cannot ride an e-bike on a big road, and I think that's a good step towards...
I think would be to invest more in public transportation, which I think they're doing. I mean, here, I don't think it's a big problem, but maybe Beijing, alternatives to public transportation. We have the subway, but that's about the only public transportation we have.
鲜花的世界到底在哪里？如果它真的存在，那么我一定会去。我想在那里最高的山峰矗立，不在乎它是不是悬崖峭壁，用力或者用力爱，哪怕肝脑涂地，不求任何人满意，只要对得起自己。关于理想，我从来没选择放弃，即使再灰头土脸